All the Who's liked cheap top-shelf vodka a lot, but the Grinch, who lived just north of Cap Hansen's, did not. "They're making their plans," he snarled with a sneer. "Tomorrow is Thursday, it's practically here." Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming, "I must stop cheap top-shelf vodka night from coming." For tomorrow he knew all the Cap's girls and boys would show up at 9, and thenceforth the bar would sound like party time. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Caps, the tall and the small, would sit at their tables with jukebox songs ringing. They'd sit at the bar, and those Who's would start drinking. And they'd drink, and they'd drink, and they'd drink, 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 drink. And the more the Grinch thought of this vodka night thing, the more the Grinch thought, "I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I put up with it now. I must stop cheap top-shelf vodka night. But how?" Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. "I know just what to do," the Grinch laughed in his throat. "I'll make a quick fashionable hat and a coat." He chuckled and clucked. "What a jolly old show. With his hat and his coat, I'll look just like Jen Ho." He slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Jen Ho could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a minute or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue. Their top-shelf vodka was stored all in a row. "This Stoli," he grinched, "is the first thing to go." Then he slithered and slunk with a smile no one could savor around the whole room, and he took every flavor. Vanilla, cranberry, citrus, and peach. Mandarin, raspberry, every bottle in reach. Then he stuffed them in bags, and the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. As he grabbed the last bag, as he started to shove, he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. The Grinch turned around, and to his sudden misfortune, he stood face to face with Allison Norton. The Grinch had been caught by this vodka night fan, who'd come into the kitchen for a Stoli and cran. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Jen Ho, I caught you. Why are you taking all of our cheap top-shelf vodka?" But you know that old Grinch was so sly and so slick. He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick. "Why, my sweet little tot," the fake bartender lied. "There's a part of the label that's not right on one side. So I'm taking it back down to the bar, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and then I'll bring it back here." And his fib fooled Allison, and he patted her head, and he poured her a drink and sent her to bed. And when Allison was in bed with her own sippy cup, he crept to the chimney and shoved it all up. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, the Grinch rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. "Ha ha!" he laughed in his own Grinch delight. "They'll soon find out there'll be no vodka tonight. The bar's almost open. I know just what they'll do. Those Who's down at Caps will all cry boo-hoo. And that's a sound that I simply must hear." And the Grinch put a hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound coming up from below. It started in low, then it started to grow. But this sound wasn't sad. It was delightful, sublime. Why, the thing that he heard sounded like party time. And the Grinch stood with his feet ice cold in the snow, and he puzzled and puzzled. How could it be so? It came without vanilla. It came without cranberry. It came without mandarin, citrus, or raspberry. He puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe cheap top-shelf vodka night, perhaps, means a little bit more. Those Who's down at Caps hadn't given a hoot. When the Grinch took their Stoli, they drank Absolute. So the Grinch chilled out and returned all their loot. And that Thursday night, at a little past 9, the Grinch was the first in the vodka night line. He thought he hated cheap top-shelf vodka night, but it turned out he did not. And he himself, the Grinch, bought the first round of shots.